Welcome, community, to this edition of Hall Pass. I am standing in the Fisher Elementary School with none other than our teacher, Angela Bilancia. Welcome, Angela, to this edition of Hall Pass.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited to be here with you. So, Angela, how long have you been in the district, and what is your current role in D205?
So actually, I started here as a student teacher. So new to the profession, and I was student teaching in a first grade bilingual classroom at the time. And when I was here, I knew there was something so special about Fisher, and so a position actually opened up the following year. And when I was offered that position, there was no hesitation. I said, Fisher is home. And so I've been here ever since. Fisher is just such a special place, such a strong sense of community and diversity among our students, our staff, families, and so I've been here ever since, and so this is going to be my 7th official year as a teacher here. The first 5 years I was in a first grade dual language classroom, and then now I teach 3rd grade in our dual language program.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. I have the opportunity to be a student teacher and then transition to being a teacher. And I love how you articulated how you knew this was home, that you call this home.
It's home.
That's so special. So as a 3rd grade dual language teacher, can you tell us what like the average day looks like in your classroom?
Again, how much time do we have? There's a lot that goes on in our classroom every day.
High level.
But when you walk into my classroom, of course, technically speaking, in every grade level, there's a specific language allocation of what percentage of the days in Spanish, what percentage is in English, and in 3rd grade, we have math is solely in Spanish, and then there's designated times for literacy development in English and in Spanish. So when you walk into my classroom, generally speaking, you're going to hear students English and Spanish. You're going to hear us going back and forth. And me as a teacher, I try to stick to the language of instruction, being a strong model for those students. But it's really cool to see the students when they're using both languages and they're making sense of this bilingual world. And you know, we have our dominant English speakers, we have our dominant Spanish speakers. It's just such an incredible thing to see that they're using everything within like their linguistic repertoire, so the skills and the knowledge that they have in both languages. And so it's so funny, I think yesterday we were teaching a lesson, we were learning about adaptations, and the student wanted to say that an animal was camouflaging itself to be able to hide from predators, but they knew the language that I had provided them with sentence stems and sentence starters. You're gonna see me always, again, in dual language, you're gonna see my hands flying, TPR, total physical response, so they can attach a movement to the vocab, and that helps them remember. And so you see this student, you know, was saying, el camaleón se camouflage, so the chameleon camouflages para poder hide de los depredadores. So they're mixing it, and it's such a beautiful thing to see because I grew up, and they're making sense of their bilingual worlds. I grew up bilingual, so I see myself, you know, represented there in my students. So when you walk in, that's what you're gonna see. Kids are using both languages, they're making sense of this bilingual world, and we're also maintaining that high level of rigor. You know, the kids are exposed to these rigorous texts and taking into consideration language development, where you're going to see always sentence starters, you're going to see sentence frames, a lot of vocabulary everywhere, and again, my hands flying everywhere, so they know what I'm saying. So yeah.
Just hearing you describe it, I want to come back to 3rd grade and be in your classroom. The energy and the passion. And the connection and the sense of community, and to create an environment for students to learn and to grow as bilingual, positive citizens. So that is just so amazing. So how have you seen progress, the progress of your students just already in this particular school year from the start to now?
Oh my gosh, and I think as educators, the growth that's the most rewarding part of this job. And when we started the year, students are very hesitant with using both languages. You see that hesitation, but once you create that safe environment, that safe space for them, is like we're all learning 2 languages here, and you guys are learning math, some of you, in your 2nd language. You're learning, like for our dominant Spanish speakers, foundations, you know, and when we create that safe space, I've seen my students grow so much. They're asking more thoughtful questions. They're digging into these rigorous texts that were, at the beginning of the year, I was giving them these texts, and you could see that they were overwhelmed. They're like, what's on this page? And you know, and now I see them, and they're taking risks, and they're engaging with the content, and they're using the vocabulary that we're teaching them, and it's just I've seen so much growth in their confidence and also in social interactions. You know, sometimes you see naturally, like, you know, your dominant Spanish speakers will stick with each other, your dominant English, but I've seen them, the social interactions I've seen is just incredible. I have a newcomer, she was new last year from Guatemala, and she still is working on her English, and so one of my dominant English speakers, I've seen her, you know, specialize in English, and when I'm giving English instruction, I see her translating and helping her. And I think this student didn't realize how much Spanish she actually knew, and so we see it's working. And you know, I've seen so much growth, and it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It is. It is. Just to hear you talk about it, it's bringing and drawing our community into this special space. I think, you know, we talk in a lot, particularly I share a lot at the board table and talk with our board and our community about the importance of continuous improvement and growth. You mentioned that's one of the things that we look forward to, seeing the growth in our students. I can say that I look forward to seeing the continued growth in our staff. And so you've mentioned a little bit about the rigor and the high expectations that have been set. How have you been supported in helping your growth and your development to then translate to create this amazing experience for our students? What kind of support has the district specifically provided, and how have you come along in this work?
So I've been here since the dual language program started here at Fisher, and I've had the opportunity since the very beginning when they decided to bring dual language here to Elmhurst. We got to work with different consultants, professionals in the field. We were provided with different professional development opportunities and to learn about dual language instruction and best strategies for English learners and second language learners. And so we've had so many opportunities, and I think here at Fisher and within the district, collaboration is so important. So we've had these opportunities to collaborate with professionals in the field of dual language education and with other dual language educators, which are also experts in this field, and PLCs, institute days.
So what are PLCs, just for some of our members that might not know the edge you speak?
Professional Learning Community, or PLC. It's a time where we get together with our grade level team and sometimes an instructional coach. Sometimes administration is there. And we dive deep into data. We look at the data. How do we see our kids growing, whether it's in math or literacy? And we dive deep, and we're like, what do we notice? What are the trends we're noticing with the data with our students? And then we collaborate together to what strategies are working, what can we change, what can we do to continue to support the growth of our students with language development and also across content areas. So we've had a lot of opportunities to collaborate during PLCs, late starts as well. And one thing I will say, since being here at District 205, is developing and revising, you know, the dual language curriculum has been a process. And what I will say is, anytime we needed something, resources, materials, books, it was there for us. And so that has made a big difference, developing and revising this dual language curriculum. So,
well, I can sit and talk to you all day long, but I want to just say thank you on behalf of our school community, on behalf of our district, just giving us a glimpse into the magic that happens right here at Fisher Elementary. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Hall Pass. We'll see you soon.